weakness to warrior mindset. Stupid trills. Harmonica chat time. So let's go on a walk. Topic of the day. How many harmonicas do you actually really need? That is a good question. And I would say as many as you goddamn well want. I mean, that's the right answer. All right, end of story. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, you can do a lot with one harmonica. You can do a lot with 5 harmonicas. Basically, if you're going to want to do a bunch of songs in different keys, you're obviously going to need different freaking harmonicas in different keys. So I would say as many keys as there are, and as many freaking genres of music you want to play and how you want it to sound. But basically I would start out with one. Get good on one, and then once you started adding the other keys into your repertoire, it'll just make you better. Now, the types of harmonica that you will need is a different story. Obviously, you will want one that has a lot of longevity in it. Meaning you don't want a cheap ass one with freaking plastic freaking reeds and shit like that, because that'll just wear out. And obviously, you don't want to spend like $300 on a harmonica, because if you lose it, I don't know if anybody's ever lost their harmonica. I'm sure it's happened. Maybe you got so good, you know, your girlfriend got freaking jealous because you were picking up some bitches. She's like, fuck this dude. Freaking threw your harmonica out. And you're like, hey, what happened to my harmonica? I don't know what happened to it. Maybe you lost it. That's just a joke. I'm sure it's happened. But basically the type of harmonica. There's the Hohner Special 20, the Hohner Rocket, the Hohner Rocket Amp. There's obviously some other ones I'm not sure about. Some of them have wooden combs, some of them have metal combs, some of them have freaking composite combs. Some of them are all decked out with ivory and freaking gold and all that shit. I mean, I guess if you want to go that route, you can. That's up to you. It's your money. But I would stick with one that you can afford from the get-go. Whatever's in your budget, I'd stick with that one. But I'd go with Hohner. You know, trying to get freaking monetized by Hohner. I mean, Hohner is one of the best freaking harmonicas out there. Beats all of them. Beats Seidel. The Seidel freaking stainless steel beats them by a freaking long shot. I don't know. I just picked freaking Hohner because it's well known. You can go with Marine Band, but they got wooden combs. So if you want splinters in your freaking lips, go right ahead. But back to Hohner. Hohner's world renowned. They've been in the business for a while. And You can pretty much get them off of Amazon at a decent price. So I would stick with harmonica. I mean the Hohner harmonica. As far as the keys, start with A or C. They have nice rich sounds. And C is pretty much like the bass line for anything. But for what I've done my research, it's like C, and then it goes A, and then D, and things along that nature. The only difference in the keys depends on what position you're playing in, because on the C harmonica, in second position, it starts out in the note of G. So that's what you just got to be worried about. It's all the positions. And basically the positions are the note that you start on, the root note. So I'll do another video on that, but a quick one, like on the C harmonica, first position starts at the 1 draw. Second position starts at the 2 draw. And then obviously it goes up there to 12th and major pentatonic and minor pentatonic and natural pentatonic and blues scale, and then all kinds of other garbage. Not garbage, but you know what I mean. It gets kind of monotonous when you gotta do scale training. I do 3 scales: the major pentatonic, the blues scales, and I can't think of the other one right off the top of my head. Maybe it's the natural pentatonic. And basically they follow in about the same range of the notes. It's just some of them have more bends, and the bends are like half steps and step and a half, and full steps and all that. So I would suggest, again, 1 to begin with, and then as you gradually get better, you start to add ones to your repertoire. Especially if you have it in mind that you're going to go play on stage. You're going to want multiple freaking harmonicas. Especially, like if you first start now, I would buy 2. 1 to keep at home, and 1 for in your car to keep with you in your car all the time. Not only that, if you blow a reed, that harmonica is pretty much useless for that reed that you blew. I mean, you can swap out the reeds, but say you're mid wailing on the blues, and everyone's feeling that soul. They're feeling it in their bones, and then your reed pops, and you don't have a backup. Guess what? You're fucked. There would be a different kind of crying. Crying, be like, oh no! And stop. See you, Western Express. So always have a backup harmonica, just in case. Because I blew a reed on one of my first harmonicas, the 1 draw. So I just went out, and luckily I had a backup. And that's just me, before I knew how to bend, trying to force so much air through the freaking 1 hole that it freaking popped the reed or bent the reed or whatever I did to it. So I just gave it to my kid because he don't know any different. So, and then you'll have different harmonicas that have different freaking cover plates. Some are thicker. The Hohner Special 20 is relatively slim, so you can get it into that deep, relaxed mouth position. I guess the other one that I got that had the big, thick cover plates was for people who could tongue block. That way, it doesn't really fit that well into your mouth. It's just on your lips, and you just use your tongue and part of your lip to block off the other 2 adjacent holes, or the 2 holes on either side of the note that you're trying to hit. I've seen people, I don't know why, I've seen people say, on the internet and on YouTube, like, buy some used harmonicas. I don't know about that, dude. someone been freaking blowing on it and spitting in it and all that shit, dude, you might as well just be kissing the fucking dude that you freaking got the harmonica off, because that's basically what you're going to be doing. You're freaking sucking on them reeds and shit, or sucking on that harmonica. You're going to be getting all that freaking mouth critters and mouth slop that's in that fucking harmonica. That's why I don't let anybody touch my harmonica. Like, they try to blow it, I'm like, get your fucking lips off that, dude. I don't want your fucking nasty gingivitis and freaking, you know, whatever you freaking had for dinner in your freaking, in my harmonica. I know I regularly clean my harmonica, but that's not the point. You know what I mean? It's the same thing as a whistle. You don't want to be blowing on freaking another whistle that someone had in their mouth. That's just freaking gross. I mean, hell, you don't even use the same spoon that someone else did, right? Why would you use a freaking harmonica? That's just crazy to me. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I just wonder, like, the COVID freaking era came flashback in my mind. I'm like, how the fuck do you play a fucking harmonica with a fucking mask on? Crazy, crazy world that we live in. But back on top of harmonicas and how many you need, as I stated in the fucking beginning of this video, it's as many as you want. I've seen ones that it was so crazy that they had like 7 harmonicas like strapped together, kind of like on a freaking paddle wheel on the back of those freaking steamboats that go down the Mississippi, and you would just rotate the thing to get a different harmonica, and to get a different note of the harmonica, and I'm like, what in the hell kind of contraption is that? Like, who came up with that idea? I'm sure someone's out there playing on it. I don't know how. That thing's huge. You fucking, man, you'd get a freaking bicep workout just holding that damn thing up. You know? I've also seen, I know it was levity and, you know, comedy and stuff, satire. They had those oversized freaking harmonicas that are like freaking 2 feet long, played by a midget, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, I'm sure some people got some laughs out of it. I mean, can you imagine having a 2 foot freaking long freaking harmonica? What's that, like freaking 20 freaking holes, 25 holes? Man, sliding up and down on that thing, gonna give your freaking neck a workout. Crazy, crazy sort of stuff. But again, I just post these videos to encourage you to go out and get yourself some harmonicas and start to learn how to play harmonica. Eventually, as I start to progress, I'm going to start making videos on actually how to play the harmonica and become an online coach. I mean, that's ultimately my goal, which should be the goal of everybody. Because as you progress and you get better, it's best to pass on that knowledge. So as you pass that knowledge on, not only do you get better because you're freaking reciting all the things that you know, but then you're going back to the very, very, very basics and teaching everybody the very, very basics. So it's kind of like a basic refresher course for you, so that once you get the fundamentals down, everything else falls together. And it makes you better as a person and a musician. So again, it's however many harmonicas you want. Start with 2 in the same key so that you have a backup. Learn to play the harmonica to make those panties wet, to make you a better, more deep-rooted person, have more character, and that way you can start your journey from weakness to warrior mindset.